Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Gendered Spaces hosted by Dr. Patricia Litho. It is exciting that in this month of women, I am talking to great women leaders in all spheres of life, and what better person to host than Miss Regina Mariam Namata Kamoga. I think I got all her names right. She is a leader in public health, mostly championing the fight against AMR, which we'll explain since I struggle with that term. But basically, she looks at fighting the abuse of antibiotics and what that can do to our bodies and why it's important to pay attention to that. She also recently won an award, a global award for the fight against AMR, and there were just 8 winners in the world, right? And she's one of them. And it's exciting, first of all, that she's Ugandan, she's female, and this is seemingly a medical field, but as she will tell you, you don't have to be medical to fight against AMR. So it's exciting, and Miss Regina, you're most welcome to Gendered Spaces.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I'm very delighted to be here today talking about antimicrobial resistance and generally patient safety, which I'm really passionate about, because we don't want anyone to be harmed as they try to get care or be treated.
Let's start from the most exciting part, your recent award that you won. What is it about? How does it feel? And what does it mean for your journey in this fight against AMR?
Thank you, Patricia. Indeed, I'm honored. And I must say, all praise be to God. Because to be recognized among the 8 women in the world is not a mean achievement. And especially when you're doing something that you love best, it's what you're passionate about, it really means a great deal. And not only for me, because this award is not only for me, it's for Uganda, it's for our partners in the community, the people at CHAIN, the Community Health and Information Network, the board, the staff, the volunteers, and our partners in the community. And we are supercharged because for us to be recognized for leading the fight against antimicrobial resistance is really a great deal for us. And this gives us more energy to scale the work that we're doing and ensure that we don't leave anyone behind in this fight.
I'm just wondering, Regina, does it matter that you're a woman leader in this science world of public health, but working in a community, and in communities normally, women are seen, not heard. So I'm just wondering how it feels, if there are any challenges. Would it have been better if you are a man doing this job?
Obviously, given our social, cultural aspects in communities, the women's gender role is basically to be in the kitchen, homemaking and stuff. And this was a preserve for the men. But the world is evolving, and increasingly, it's important that the women are at the forefront because we know that women, especially, are caregivers naturally, but also have a way, they have empathy, they are more in terms of taking care of the people. They do it in a more, supportive and empathic way. So that makes it different. But also there are challenges because sometimes you work with men and they're like, when they look at you as a woman, they undermine you and they think you don't have, enough brains to be where you are. So that is challenging. But again, we need to increasingly empower the women because for them, they do this work with, passion and love and care, which is very, very critical, especially when you're dealing with vulnerable communities and people that have,
Yeah,
those
talking
conditions.
about men, I want to veer off. You as a wife and a mother working in this field, it seems very demanding. How have you been able to balance family, work life, traveling around the world? Is Mr. supportive? I just want to understand that part.
Yeah, and actually, one of the most things that I can say I can be very proud of is having a supportive, first of all, husband and family and the children. Once they appreciate and support you, believe me, you'll go all the way. And this has also been part of the way, and I'll talk especially with the children, the way that we have brought them up to understand that giving back to community is very, very critical. And in their very early years, I've always taken them to community,
Oh, that's
to
great.
do charity at a very young age, taking food when they were 5 years. So right now, they truly understand and actually work, give their time for charity to come with me in the community. So support is very critical. The support systems around you are very, very important for this work, because it's really charity work, and you need a support system, and especially of your family, and to make this work.
Ah, that is great. I was actually just about to ask if any of your children admire the work you do, and if any of them are interested in pursuing the same kind of work. So that is you a mother, a role model. Is your work enviable to your children?
Actually, I'm their role model. So
That's great.
and many are doing not only besides their work professionally, they are giving time to do charity. And they will always they contribute to our initiatives supporting the orphans and vulnerable children and other initiatives that we have in the community. They will always make a contribution
So
to
I'm
that.
just wondering, what keeps you going apart from your supportive family? Why for years and years you've been engaged in this community, public health in the communities? I'm just wondering, what's your drive?
Okay, my drive, my inspiration comes from those experiences that I talked about at personal, family and community level, which inspired me to do the work that I do. But also when I see a difference, when I put a smile on someone's face, when I make, a change, a positive change in someone's life, that makes my day. Because sometimes it can be very stressful. Sometimes you feel hopeless and helpless, especially with very limited funding. And you want to do things, you want to, to make a difference, you want things to, to work. But what keeps you going is even one smile on someone's face makes your day. And I'll give an example. Recently, there's a young boy. We started supporting him. He lost both his parents when he was 3 years. And we got him and put him in school under our orphans program. So right from preschool, he recently just finished his back course, law course at Mbarara.
Congratulations.
And he's graduating. So he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer now, and that makes me going. When you make a difference in someone's life, when you save a life, for instance, and just health literacy, giving someone information can save a life. And as a Muslim, when you save a life, you've saved, a whole nation.
I better convert.
Yes, you should. You really should. You really should. First, start with reading the Quran, and believe me, it's a life-changing.
It's an amazing book.
It's amazing and a life-changing experience for you.
I'm taking up that challenge. The next time we meet, I'll be quoting sections.
Exactly, and everyone listening to me, please read the Quran. Yeah. So when you save a life, that keeps you going. When you put a smile on someone's face and you made a difference from, even if it's one person, that keeps you going. So that is what keeps me going and, gives me, fulfillment. Yes.
you know, as a younger person, or especially for the young people who are watching, I am glad that you didn't say it is the money or the jet setting, flying around. So how would you encourage these young people who would want, you know, sometimes young people think that you just wake up and you're Regina Kamoga, the ED of chain. What has it meant to get there? But also, why I even asked you what keeps going. And for me, you've emphasized the issue of passion.
Yeah.
So I don't know how best to say it. How best can we explain to the younger people that it's always, yes, we want money, but it's not all about money and maybe flying around, going to New York. Who wouldn't want to go there? What else? What can we do to get to where you are today?
Yeah, thank you very much, Patricia. For me, I think, first of all, the first thing is we need to be, it's about commitment. It's also about passion, because passion actually plays a very big role. It's about, first of all, knowing what you really want in life. What is your goal in life, and where do you want to be, and what do you want to do? So and then, of course, then the commitment, the dedication, but also integrity at what you're doing is very critical, because I know there are many temptations of, you know, wanting, you know, I've seen Patricia is driving such and such a car, or so I need to have this, I need to have this. But integrity plays a very big role in all that we do. Dedication, passion, but also, most of all, what do you want at the end of the day? What do you want to achieve? And also patience. You really have to be patient, but also consistent. Consistency is another issue. Be consistent in what you do. Be targeted, be dedicated. There's so many challenges along the way. There will not be funding. There will not be people that are supporting you. People will fight you. There are all sorts of challenges out there. But how are you able to go,
bring it
to
together?
cope,
Maybe also chip in, you know, when you said people fighting you, I just related myself to you, a non-scientist working in the science world, worst of all a woman. Can you share that and maybe encourage us? How do you navigate those hot waters?
That's a good one. And you know, and with all due respect and no offense, I know that especially with the health workers, there's this thing I call paternalism. You know, like, we know it all, and I mean,
I like this word.
You know,
paternalism.
Paternalism, yes. And they're looked at, you know, gods, and they think they know it. So sometimes when you come in and you're trying to sometimes even challenge, so you're looked at like, who are you? And some have been chased out of meetings and told this meeting is specifically for medical people. Trained. So what are you doing here? Then you say, I'm a patient representative, and they're like, patient representative? They're thinking you're someone who's supposed to be in the hospital. One time I was going to talk about patient advocacy, and I was talking about patient representation, and someone was asking me, so you mean you're going to go in Mulago Hospital and bring those people to our meeting? I'm like, oh. So that's how bad it can get. Yes. So it's really, there's a lot of awareness that needs to be brought to the people's attention, that patient advocacy, patient engagement and empowerment, all involvement is not going to Mulago, whatever ward, and bringing sick people to a meeting. There's a very well organized, structure of patient groups, patient representatives who are experts in these areas, and they can make contribution to policy, to, different, sit at different tables. And our advocacies, can we have patients and that are expert in these areas to advocate for the needs, because they understand, they know what it really means So you shouldn't be talking, designing things without them. We're talking about
Yes, yes.
co-creation. Can we have them at the table? Can we have them sitting on boards at different levels?
Yes.
Ministry of Health, and I'm glad that many of our members at the Uganda Alliance of Patient Organization are sitting on a Uganda Cancer Institute boards. We have the Women Cancer Association, Ministry of Health, the technical working groups. We have the Sickle Cell Association and Hepatitis B and
I hope
others.
you're talking about how these medical people treat women, especially when you're expecting. There are stories of mothers in labor being slapped because they can't push. I hope you also push for things like that. For cowards like me who, yes. Do you deal with issues like that?
Exactly. We do that, and we engage with the health workers. Then there's I don't know if you know about the patient rights.
Yes.
Patient rights and responsibilities. So we not only talk to patients about their rights, but we also talk to the health workers and bring these together to brainstorm, to not to fight each other, but to understand where each one is coming from, because it's really about having these conversations that you understand. I want to understand why you actually slap a mother, why you say, those that are HIV positive, please go this side, those, in public.
Yes, and then I stick out like a thorn.
Exactly. So we talk to them, we have these engagements, and we try to see that we can have, the patient health work relationship.
Yes.
How can we improve it? How can we support each other?
Yes.
Instead of fighting each other, because when we support each other, we actually make the work of each other very easy.
Yes.
Yeah, because just imagine even a patient knowing that I can be harmed in the process of receiving care.
Yeah.
They are better able as they transition in the process of receiving their care. Because sometimes the health workers are very busy and can miss out on certain things that can cause harm to the patient. But if we work together, if the patient is aware and the health work is also supportive, then we mitigate most of these
I've heard those horror stories where the charts are swapped, maybe accidentally,
Exactly.
and you end up losing a normal arm, yet they should have cut off, amputated your neighbor.
Exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly.
So I think this is really important. But I also read in your work, you're also concerned with responsible use of antibiotics in animals and poultry.
Yes.
Why is this area important to humans? I mean, they're animals. Why should we care?
Exactly. So that's why antimicrobial resistance is a one health approach. One health approach in the sense that it affects all these fields, the animal, the environment. And I'll give an example, especially we have people that sell chicken in the market. These people treat the chicken with antibiotics. They inject them today and they sell them to you the next day. You go, you enjoy, you have a party, you enjoy your meal, little knowing that you're taking antibiotics. Then we have people that enjoy pork. The pork, they're given ARVs to fatten them so that they can grow very fast. So you're taking the ARVs in very small quantities. Again, the chicken you're also consuming the antibiotics. Yet, ideally, it would take like 2 weeks to sell this chicken to
after it has consumed.
Yeah, exactly. But then they sell them immediately. But it's because they don't know. And all those practices bring about fuel antimicrobial resistance.
So, just explain more about those side effects. Now, like if I eat a chicken or an animal that has just been given antibiotics.
Yes, now you're also consuming. And remember, we're talking about you're not finishing your doses. You're consuming in these small quantities. So precisely, you're misusing antibiotics, but unknowingly, because now it's just this, you're getting it through the chicken you're eating. So that means the quantities that you're having, again, you've taken antibiotics, which you don't need in your body. So that will lead to antimicrobial resistance because fueling.
Yeah, so I've noticed that you also use very interesting approaches in your community work, music, drama, and things like that. And also the emphasis on children. How do these approaches make a difference? Why would I go to music and drama for a medical intervention?
Yeah, you know, people are fatigued. People are fatigued with information, but also our people don't really like reading. If I give you a pamphlet and it's telling you about antibiotics, I'm sure I won't even look at it. But if I brought a board game and then we start playing as we discuss, then if there's a, people love, and especially in Uganda, we love dancing, we love music. So if I'm watching a song or a skit, and but it's teaching me how to, you know, hand hygiene, medication safety, or other. I'm enjoying, but as well as learning. So it's a nice a nice way of learning while enjoying.
Good. One of the last things I would like to ask you is, do you think women are important to be at the center of the fight against AMR?
100%. Because first of all, the women, and I'll start from a home, when a member of the family is sick, it's the women who take care of the sick. So it's important for them, because many times, sometimes they'll make irrational decisions when they have someone, a loved one, sick. So it's important that they're empowered, they're engaged, and given the correct information on different diseases, but also medicines and the issue of the extent of the problem of antimicrobial resistance.
Yes, so mothers as primary caregivers, I think it's really important to pay attention to this. But even fathers, I don't know, increasingly, it's really a worrying percentage, a dragging percentage. But I think even the men should also be concerned. Just imagine maybe the mother is not around, or the father has to go to hospital and things like that. What are the aspects we would look out for? What should we avoid in this fight against AMR? What should we avoid as parents, as users,
Yeah,
as potential patients?
yeah. And first of all, for me, prevention, and I can't overemphasize prevention. And we should not leave anyone behind. The farmers, pretty much everyone, all of us, because it is affecting all of us, and it's silent. And I've said we are sitting on a time bomb. If we could start with prevention, because when you prevent, when you wash your hands and prevent an infection, then you don't need antibiotics. You don't need to go to the hospital. If you sleep under a mosquito net, you will not get malaria. You don't need, you know, anti-malarials. So it's really about vaccinations. Can we have the children be vaccinated for, you know, different immunizable, you know, conditions? Right now, vaccination for malaria is going on for young children. The parents should take these children for vaccination. So it's really prevention, and I can't overemphasize prevention.
Oh,
and
great.
we
Thank
all
you.
need, all stakeholders, we need these prevention interventions to be funded. Like I said, prevention is not even charity. It's just a smart way of mitigating impacts.
So we should avoid self-medication, basically.
Yes.
So for me, as a last word, again, I move to you as a women leader in this world where we rarely see women participating. What would be that message, that take-home message you'd advise to a young girl out there who wants to be Regina Kamoga, the ED of chain? What is the key thing I should look out for? What is the key thing I should do to get to where you are today?
Wow. The girl out there, make sure you, first of all, you should know what you aim for in life. that is very, very important. Because what you focus on becomes a reality, and attitude determines altitude. So focus, but also have a good attitude, because your attitude will determine your altitude.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Attitude will determine your altitude. That's a nice one. I should cram that. Thanks a lot, Miss Regina, for this wonderful, wonderful conversation. And thanks all those who have been able to watch this edition of Gendered Spaces. As you've heard, let's all try to avoid abusing antibiotics, but also the understanding that we can all contribute. We are all potential patients, we are all potential caregivers, and what it means. We should also look out for the animals and poultry that we feed on. I'm not sure how we can know the last time they took an antibiotics, but really maybe using more trusted sources to source what we eat, trying to eat more organic. I think that can make a difference. And what it means for a female working in a male-dominated world, and what it means for a non-scientist working in STEM, you can see it also. It is possible, it happens. I'm also a female working in a STEM world with engineers, and it is possible if you know what you're about, if you prepare. She's talked about focus, perseverance, and really, really knowing what you want. Thank you.